Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fisherman, Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, good morning, good morning. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala. This morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Trax with me. And what I'd like to say about Carolyn is if you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to my friend Carolyn over there at Atlas Trax. Good morning, my dear. Well, she was there a minute ago. I know why. Oh, technicalities. Let's try it again. Good morning, Carolyn.
Well, good morning, Riscala, and happy Father's Day to everybody out there today.
Thank you. Yes, a happy Father's Day to all of you fathers out there. Couldn't do it without you. You're a vital part of the family. And it is an honor and a privilege to be able to be here and wish you guys a happy Father's Day. Did you do any fishing this last week?
Well, you know what? I did. I got to get out on Wednesday. We did a little snapper fishing. Not too productive. Just wanted to get our gear a little bit wet. Today is supposed to be a real nice day out there. Don't know if I can talk them into taking the boat out or if it's going to be a real Father's Day and just lay around the house and do some house projects, but I'm going to try.
Oh, that's it's nice. And, you know, push comes to shove, you can always go out back and just fish off the dock.
Absolutely. I've got some good leftover chicken piccata from last night. I might put a little bit of that on a hook and see what happens.
Ooh, you might end up with an Italian snapper.
Wouldn't that be great? Oh, my goodness, absolutely. Then we go right to the snapper Frances.
A new species has been found. Oh, my goodness. Well, it has been a pretty quick week this last week for me. Business is finally starting to pick up a very little bit, but, you know, anything is better than nothing at this point. I know that most of us, when I say us, small business people have been under the stress, under the pressure to make things happen. And with this reopening of Florida, we have more and more activities now that are available. The beach report, the beaches are open with some restrictions. Peanut Island out there off of Palm Beach is still closed. They are warning that there may be some spotty man-o-war out there. Be careful when you're at the beach. Some of our beaches have rocks, so got to keep an eye out on them. There is going to be little to no risk of rip currents. The water looks like it's going to be about 1 foot. It's going to be a puddle today. It'll be out there 20 miles offshore, look like a puddle. The map, as we look at the map this morning, there is some activity off of Palm Beach County, but it's pretty far offshore. It looks like it's at least 40, 50 miles offshore. Down southwest Florida, down there around the Naples area, got some severe weather moving in from the Gulf. But the rest of the state looks relatively clear, so it looks like we're going to have one of those wonderful, clear, hot, where you can cook on the sidewalk days. Tides, let's see. The tides today are going to be 3:06 this morning, 8:58 this morning, 2:59 this afternoon, and then 9:38 p.m. tonight. So if you're looking for tide information, 3:06, 8:58, 2:59, and 9:38. And before I forget, we did have the app is out. Finally, the app is out, and you can find the app right now in the Google Play Store. We are making arrangements to have it in all of the stores, but right now it's in the Google Play Store. And the easiest way that I have found to find the app is to search the Google Play Store with fishing_in_Florida, and you'll see our home station come up, WCET-FM. You can also look for WCET-FM. We're working with the developer so that people can just look up the network, but right now I don't know how all of that works. I guess it takes a little bit of time. They have to do this and that and the other. They have to approve it. Oh my goodness, it's just what they told me would take a week. Ended up taking almost 3 weeks to get the app approved. And the app is nothing. I mean, it's a very, very simple app, but it is what it is. So the app is ready. You can go to the Google Play Store and you can download it. It is under WCET-FM. That's our home network. And you'll be able to listen to the show. You'll be able to listen to anything on the network. that we have. And there's no push notifications, there's no spyware, there's none of that stuff. It's just a simple player is all it is. So another way that you can listen to us. You can find us on Facebook. If you do go to Facebook, please give us a like. That gives us relevance in the searches. Fishing Florida Show, click on Contact Us. That's another way you can listen to us. That will get you on our live server. If you are somebody who likes to listen on the phone, you have a landline or you have unlimited calling, you can call in, actually, 701-719-9704. And a big thank you to WCET-FM, which is our home network, and a big thank you to Marina Rock Radio, which is one of our newest affiliates down there in Miami. Marina Rock happens to be a tune-in station, so if you have the tune-in app, you can tune into Marina Rock and find us that way as well. So we're making it easier and easier for people to listen. The app, I believe, is going to be the easiest way of all. Any smart device can download the app. Right now, it's just for Android. I'm sorry. It's just taking us a little bit of time. I don't have it available for Apple yet. We're still working on the Android to see what kind of reception we get with the Android and what kind of success we have. Right now, it's 100% success. So eventually, we will have it for the iPhone, but right now it is for the Android, available for free in the Apple, in the Google Store, and soon to be in the Apple Store. What do you got planned coming on this week, my dear?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a busy week. We've got a lot of people. The boat building facilities are starting to put boats out again, so I'm going to go out and put some of my trackers on some boats in Palm Beach. We've got, of course, Angelia. I'm kind of working with her. She's out in Alaska, so she's got one of our trackers. We're doing some mapping for her, which is kind of fun.
That is really neat.
Yeah, absolutely. And tournaments are starting to kick up again. So there's a big tournament in Palm Beach in July 11th to benefit dog adoptions and pet adoptions. So trying to get ready to fish it and also maybe get a donation there for a pet GPS tracker.
All right. Well, anything. I have a dog. You got to meet my bubby. And so I love dogs. I love pets. So anything to help the pets, that's great because they have a rough life, some of them. People adopt them or people get them and then decide that they're, for whatever reason, going to dump them. And they need all the help we can get. So I'm happy to be a minute part of that. And I think we have Robert on the line. Robert, is that you?
It is. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Robert. Happy Father's Day.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, I had both kids here yesterday and one still here. Went to the shooting range yesterday.
Ooh. How'd you do?
Good.
Which range did
22? We got the 22 sighted in and shot some with the 12 gauge. And,
holy smokes! Where'd you go?
It was so crowded that we couldn't use the pistols yesterday because it was a 2-hour wait to get in the pistol range. So.
Holy smokes! Where was that? Where was it at, Robert?
Sebastian. It's an outdoor range. It's off of the same exit as the state park up there.
Uh-huh.
But they do the social distancing and all that. So if you wanted to go to the pistol range, you got to wait 2 hours.
Holy smokes!
We just shot the rifles and
called
it a day. But
I haven't been to an outdoor range in forever. I kind of missed that when we were up in. When I was
they're the only ones I go to. I do not like indoor ranges at all. So.
I don't. I mean, they're okay, but I prefer outdoor. I don't know. I just prefer outdoor. When I was in the military and stationed up in Panama City, the whole city was shooting. We could go anywhere because it was so sparsely, at that time, it was so sparsely civilized. It was not civilized. I can't think of the right word. Anyway, there was a lot of open areas. Actually, we could go, believe it, now this will shock some people, we could actually go hunting on base. Tyndall Air Base was the second largest landmass base in the United States. It's so big that I don't think they would do it now, but at that time, they let us go shooting on base. So, and I miss that. The ability to be outdoors and shoot, it's a little different than being indoors. And I feel kind of closed in when we're indoors at the shooting range. It doesn't feel right. So I kind of stay away from them. So I'm glad you got to be able to do that. Did you do any fishing?
No, going this week over to visit my friend, Captain Ryan Harrington, over on the West Coast and do some fishing over there. There's a couple of tournaments going on. There's one coming on this weekend. There's one next weekend. And then the one that we are co-hosting is the one on July 11th and 12th in Isla Mirada at the Worldwide Sportsman.
And you're co-hosting Hot Dog. That's great.
Yep.
And July, what did you say, 11th and 12th?
11th and 12th. Yep. It's put on by Jaw Lures, and they're one of our advertisers, and we will be co-hosting that one.
Wow. Get a hold of them if you can, and ask them if they'd like to come on. Maybe we can get them on next week, and they can tell us a little bit about the lures and what they're doing.
Sure.
Give them a little bit of
nice people too.
Yeah, give them a little bit of exposure, and let the listeners. I'm not familiar with Jaw Lures. I don't do a lot of lure stuff anyway, but I'm not familiar with them, so I'd like to get them on, get a little information from them, what they're doing, and how things are moving along.
A lot of mahi out there, but not a lot of big ones. Yesterday, a tournament was won by a 12-pound dolphin. Young lady sent me her pictures. Janelle Joyner she lives in Key Largo. She won, $1,600 plus $1,875. So she won about $3,500 on a 12-pound dolphin that she caught.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Yeah, Angelia is on her way. Or actually, she's not on her way. She's there already. She's in Alaska, so I usually ask her about what's going on down there in the Keys. Do you know if are they completely opened up now, or are they still restricted?
They are not completely opened up. As a matter of fact, they sent something out yesterday. They sent a memo. Masks are required everywhere in Key West until June of 2021.
Oh my God!
And it would be so bad if it spread there. I'm sure if you've been there, the whole town is 2 miles by 4 miles.
Yeah.
If it got bad there, everybody would have it. I mean, there would be no way around it because the town is just so small. But they're not completely open, but they're open for fishing. Obviously, the lodging is open 50%. Restaurants are open 50%. So it's open. It's open, but if you're trying to get a room down there, you better make some reservations.
Bring a tent
because they're only at 50% occupancy. So.
Bring a tent. Bring a tent.
Yeah, or that, and even then the campgrounds are full. So.
And down there, not only bring a tent, bring a cot. Bring a cot.
Yeah, bring a cot and bring mosquito repellent.
There you go. There was one place I went down there. There was just as you go down there, we were headed down, and we were going to do some bridge fishing, and we saw this one bridge, and it was just the very beginning of the Keys, and we decided to pull over and just kind of check it out. We no sooner than got out of the car, get right back in the car and took off again. Oh my gosh, I thought we were going to get blood sucked away. I didn't know if I was going to have any blood left. There was a rampage. It was pretty tough.
Yeah, and if you've ever fished the mangroves down there,
that's where we were.
Yeah,
that's where it was.
Those steams will just.
Oh my gosh! Go ahead, Carolyn.
I was going to say, well, normally you hear them out blowing pesticides and stuff at nighttime to try and control it. I would have to doubt they've been out doing that over the last month and a half. And I had to learn, actually, mosquito lifespan is only 8 to 14 hours. So there's no way to really, unless you get caught up on those, they're hard to get control of. And I actually have a problem in my backyard trying to figure out what to do with it.
Wait a minute. A mosquito's lifespan is what? 12 to 14 hours?
8 to 14 hours.
8 to 14 hours.
Yeah.
Right. The only ones that bite you are the females.
Yeah, that
figures. They want to
go
lay their eggs in their potted plants and gutters and everything like that. I had the mosquito lesson the other day. And, it's you have to almost spray every week to just get control, but then it's a continual process. So I would imagine they're pretty rampant down in the Keys, too.
Wow. I didn't know that it was 12 to 14 hours. And it figures that 12 to 14 hours they're alive to find me.
And me.
Plant lemongrass.
Oh, yeah. Anything that will attract the dragonflies will help keep the mosquito population down because they like to eat the mosquitoes.
Or bats.
Yeah.
Or bats, yeah.
Yeah, that, yeah.
And people have this thing about bats, though. I think they'd rather see a dragonfly than a bunch of bats flying around.
I'll tell you, that's going to be one of my projects is building a bat box because you can put it right up on a palm tree. I've seen them in my neighborhood. They come out, and when you see them fly, Riscala, it's amazing. You can't imagine how they're not hitting each other or running into things with the speed that they fly and maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely, and I know they eat thousands of mosquitoes a night. So,
Yeah.
They might be my new best friend.
Well, that's
When
good.
I was a kid, we used to lay in the driveway just at dusk and just look up so you could see them, because you really can't see them that well, the bats, because they fly so fast and turn in incredible rates. But yeah, they were fun to watch.
They're amazing animals. Can sit there and hang upside down for hours and hours. Oh my gosh, I can't hang upside down for a second. I'd go nuts. Drive me crazy. You know they had these things a while back. They were quite popular. You strap yourself in and you flip yourself upside down. You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember what they were called. I tried one of those. I'm telling you, 5 seconds, I said, get me out of this thing. It's just crazy. I couldn't take it. I couldn't stand being upside down. So I don't know how the bats do it. Thank God that they're able to do it. Not me.
Absolutely. Hey, Robert, are you going to be down there for that tournament, July 11th?
I am. I'm going to be there the 11th and 12th for the tournament, and Aaron Sutcliffe is going to fish the tournament for the magazine, and I will be down there co-hosting it.
Oh, that's great.
It's primarily a mahi tournament, correct?
It is a mahi tournament. Yep.
So this will go by. Is it going to go by weight?
Yeah. And hopefully it won't be a 12-pounder that wins. But, there have been some big ones caught. Contagious Charter sent me a picture last week. They caught a 51-pounder last week.
Wow, now that's a nice
There's
fish.
big ones out there, but apparently they weren't out there yesterday. So
51 pounds. That's a nice fish. Man.
Yeah.
My goodness. Well, I take it that you're probably going to go to the park again today, are you?
No, the park is flooded.
Oh, really? From
all the bike trails are completely flooded out.
From all that rain that we got. Yeah, we had like a disturbed pressure, I forget what they call it, disturbed area or something like that. It was right offshore of us for a couple of days there, and that thing was just laying it out. We were getting water right and left.
Yep.
I call it
It is flooded.
Liquid sunshine.
And, won't be going there.
Well, that's too bad. The reason why I was asking is the park now completely open? Well, other than being flooded.
The park is, but if you're going to the bike trails, no, it's not. So.
But I mean, other than being flooded, you pretty much have access to.
Jonathan Dickinson State Park is open.
Great. That's good to hear, because they're still kind of sparse here and there. I understand there's still a few boat ramps around Broward and Dade that are still not. They still haven't opened. They talk about opening them, but they haven't opened them yet. So it's good that we're slowly getting back to some degree of normalcy. My gosh, what we went through there for 60, almost 90 days was a little bit on the crazy side.
It became quite apparent that some states did a much better job of this than others.
Yeah.
New York went from being the worst at it to the best at it, all because of just the way they handled it.
Mm-hmm. And it is kind of a scary thing. There's a lot of people got sick and a lot of people passed away from it. So I'm glad that we're able to get on. I believe that we're finally on the other side of it now. And that from everything that I read, hopefully that information I'm reading is accurate. They're saying it should start going away, even though I keep reading more and more people are being diagnosed with it, and I don't know if it's because of the testing, they're doing more testing, or more people actually.
Well, in Martin County right now, where I live, we've had a 25% increase almost per day over the last week, and I talked to my friend Rob Lord, who's the CEO at Cleveland Clinic, and they now have more people hospitalized than they did in April. So.
When you talk to him again, ask him with regard to the severity. Are the people that are being hospitalized, is it as severe as it was before? Because I read a couple of articles that said for whatever reason they feel that this thing has mutated and it's not as I don't know what the right word is, as strong, or powerful, or whatever as it was originally. They think it's less potent now than it was before.
So hopefully that's true.
I hope that's why I was asking.
I know they discovered some of the things they were doing weren't quite the right way to do things. But,
right, yeah. It's kind of was a learning process involved there. Well, if you have an opportunity to speak to him, ask him about that. I'd be curious, and he would be perfect to get the answer from, because he's literally on the front line. He would know. Because a lot of times you ask questions, you get answers, but they're filtered. They only want you to know a certain amount. So that'd be pretty cool. Well, my friend, we're up against the break. Before we go, I want to give people a little bit of information about Robert. Robert is with Florida Fisherman Magazine. You usually say that when you first bring him on. I didn't this morning. I apologize. He is with let's try that again. Florida Fisherman Magazine. It is a subscriber-based magazine. And you can actually have your picture and your story published in the magazine if it falls along its guidelines. And how do they do that, Robert?
If you want something, just send it in to pages@flfishmag.com. You can find the website and the magazine at www.flfishmag.com. And yeah, we welcome any stories, any pictures, any videos from all the readers. So. All
right, my friend. Let me let Carolyn say goodbye to you, and we'll go to a break. Thank you, Robert. Greatly appreciate your time this morning, and wish you an awesome day.
Yeah, Robert.
Carolyn, happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure I'll reach out to you on Wednesday. Thanks so much. It means a lot, and you have a great day.
You too.
Thanks, Robert. Did I hear him say happy birthday, Carolyn? Is it your birthday today?
No, 24th for Scala.
The 24th. Oh, okay.
Wednesday.
So this coming. Okay, cool.
Mine's the day before hers.
Oh, well, we'll have to make sure.
I'm way older than her.
We'll have to make sure we say happy birthday to both of you come that day. All right, here we go. You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion. Air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclubb.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dips also available. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah. Fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. Good morning to you if you're just joining us. This morning I have Carolyn with me. She's with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, talk to my friend Carolyn over there at Atlas Trax. I promise you won't be sorry. She has some of the most amazing things that can help you protect whatever you have, whether that's a jet ski or an iceberg. Because they follow iceberg. I still get a kick out of that. Welcome back, Carolyn.
Good morning again, Riscala. It's gorgeous out here. Today I'm actually at the Sands Marina, and it's kind of neat. I'm right at the gas stop here, and we've got folks coming in, getting dozens of baits, filling up with some fuel. It's kind of nice to see the boats going back out.
And from what I see on the radar and what I see in the marine report, it looks like it's going to be a pretty calm day out there. It'd be a beautiful day to be at the beach, a beautiful day to be out in a boat. It may not be the optimal day for the best of fishing, but there's always fishing available. You know, I always say fishing is kind of like sort of kind of like playing the lottery. You know, you play the lottery, you may not win anything, but you play the lottery and wow, you may hit the jackpot. So you never know. You may go out there and be looking for mahi-mahi and end up with one of those people that caught a 60-pound kingfish? Was that what it was?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mark and his team, a 60.56-pound kingfish out of St. Augustine 2 weeks ago.
We can't imagine the size of that monster. There was like 3 people had to hold it up. So like I say, you may be going out there fishing for mahi-mahi. You may not get mahi-mahi. You may not get anything. Then again, you may hit a 60-pound kingfish, or you may get a 51-pound, that's probably a bull, that Robert was talking about earlier. Or you may not get anything at all. But it's the thing about it is to go out there and do it, to enjoy it. God's given us a gift that is, you know, for us here in Florida, we've got water three areas around our state. If you don't like water, I tell people you're in the wrong place. So not only do we have water all along our shores on 3 sides of the state, we have tens of thousands of canals and lakes, and I mean, there's places like a sponge. So we've got water everywhere. So one of the most favorite things is, for me, growing up, was fishing. We had saltwater canals. We could catch whatever was in the bay, was in the, you know, right down to barracuda and shark were in the canals. So it was always a way for me to keep out of trouble, and I certainly enjoyed it. Well, I was looking for Joe Hector. I was hoping that he was going to call in. He may call in here in a minute. I sent him a text. Joe is with the Extreme Kayak tournaments. He's got a couple of tournaments coming up, I think, and I wanted him to share with the listeners about the Extreme Kayak tournaments. Have you ever been, I think we had this conversation once before, did you ever do kayak fishing?
I have not, but actually I went to a couple of Joe's tournaments, and they're so much fun. Everything's set up at the beach. People are launching from the beach. There's tents and music and family painting faces and things like that. So his tournaments are a lot of fun to go to, and everybody can go. That's the wonderful thing. is that you can just stand and watch from the shore.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've never been kayak fishing. I was kind of a little concerned, I guess is maybe a word that would fit it. But I had Pam Worth with me as my co-host for quite some time, and she made me a lot more comfortable. She told me a lot of things of kayaks are a lot more stable as we progress further and further into the future. They found ways to make them much, much more stable than they were. And they offer you, the thing I like about having a kayak, unlike having a boat, where, I had a small boat. I had a 24-foot Wellcraft, but it typically took two of us to be able to put the boat in the water. Somebody had to be in the car. Somebody had to back the car down. Somebody had to put the guide ropes up on the boat so that it wouldn't beat itself up or run away from us. With a kayak, you're it. You're the whole thing. You're the motor. you're the trailer, because some of these kayaks are light enough you can pick them up or drag them on the sand right down to the shore. So I like that idea. I like the idea of the independence of them. I like the idea that you can go places where you can't go in a boat, really shallow water. And sometimes in those shallow waters is some monsters lurking around in there, like a snook. So I would like to get somebody. She was going to take me out one day, and we never did end up doing that. But I'd like to get somebody who's got one. Go out and just kind of experiment. I'd like to fish under some of the bridges. Some of my favorite places were fishing under the bridges, under the pilings. Find a lot of fish right there. And this would be an optimal way to be able to do it, because a lot of these bridges that are good for fishing, my gosh, they're like, 30, 40, 50 feet off the water. So you catch something, you got to reel it all the way up. Those are kind of crazy things. So anyway, yeah, I'd like to try some kayak fishing at some point. I know that you were going to do the paddleboard thing. Whatever. We haven't talked about that, have we? The paddleboard. Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, this Father's Day weekend, yesterday would have been the day of the event, and it was postponed, not canceled until 2021, the same type of weekend. That way, it's for folks who don't know, typically in June there's some of the flatter seas. But the paddleboard event to raise money for cystic fibrosis, 80 miles from Bimini, Bahamas to Florida was supposed to have happened yesterday. They did do some paddle out ceremonies, which was kind of cool. Just virtual login and, of course, with the social distancing that they're familiar with every day, they live their life that way. But I'm sure there'll be way more people doing this next year, starting to train for that. So thank you for asking. I want to circle back to the kayaks. I went to watch the horse races over my girlfriend's house yesterday, walked in her house, and there was a 14-foot inflatable kayak right in her dining room table.
Oh.
So, yeah, so they actually bought one for about $200. It's a two-person, believe it or not.
Wow.
And it takes about 10 minutes to blow up by hand. And they can throw it on the car. They can deflate it. They can do whatever they want. And they went out fishing for the first time themselves and had a great time. So folks can get out there for an affordable price.
Now, that is cool. I bet because it's inflatable, it takes even less. What is it called? Draft, I think is the right word. I bet it takes even less draft. It takes less depth of the water because it's inflatable. So what did you think of it? Does it look like something that's durable? Or I think of inflatable, I guess, like a toy,
Well, I'll tell you, I actually had felt the need to jump in it, and it had
Can I jump in your kayak?
As I was watching the Belmont Stakes. That was very unique with champagne, but it had some baffles that go underneath where you sit. It had two long, regular-sized paddles. I think it was 13 feet, maybe 14 feet, so standard length. It definitely had, the ability, lots of ropes around it. I think you could definitely bring a couple fishing rods out there. I was surprised. It had so much space.
Wow. And I take it was probably very light, too, because it's inflatable.
Extremely light. And I asked them, I said, well, what if you brought that over and we went out to this Lake Boca area, which is where people paddleboard and swim and barbecue. And they said they probably could just throw it inflated on top of the roof, strap it down, and come on over and throw it in the boat. So that is definitely going to be a fun little project to try and do. And we'll have to get you down here and try it.
That sounds neat. So is the bottom, on some of these inflatables I've seen where they have like plywood or something on the bottom, is the whole thing inflatable, or does the bottom have a rigid bottom?
Actually, it was all inflatable. There was no rigid bottom, not a fiberglass
Wow.
skin or anything like that. So the whole thing could be rolled up and put in a
That's
duffel bag,
what I was
like an
yeah.
air mattress.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. That was going to be the next question. So you can roll it up just like one of those air mattresses, and that takes up very little bit of room. My gosh, that's even more portable than ever before. Wow. So what did you think of the construction of it? You know, was it built? Does it look like it's durable? Was it heavy duty? I don't know what they use. Aluminum, not aluminum, vinyl, or I can't think of the other one. For the outside.
The nylon.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. So yeah, actually, of course, you know, what do you do when you see a boat in somebody's house? So of course I had to pick it up. And I was surprised how lightweight it was. The fabric was real good canvas. You know, there was ropes and places to tie lines and things if you end up at the dock all over it. There was, you know, any way you turned, you'd have access to either clear view for fishing. You get plenty of room for cooler. I was really pleasantly surprised.
Wow. Well, I think we have Joe on. Joe, is that you?
Yeah. How's it going?
Go ahead, Carolyn.
Hey, good morning, Joe. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry for the late call, and I'm holding the baby in one arm. And
I figured it was
chaos in the house.
Yeah. Joe is a newfound father. Well, I guess almost a year now, right?
Yeah, she's a year old now, and it's going so quick. It's crazy.
Are you able to sleep through the night?
Sometimes, but
I remember them days.
It gets better.
Yeah,
it gets
it does.
a lot better, and like especially now, you know, she's so fun because she's walking.
Yeah.
So you know, you could take her to the park. She's already kicking a soccer ball.
Oh my goodness.
Catching peacock bass.
Adorable.
So it's great.
Wow. Well, we were talking just before you came on. Carolyn has a friend who had we were talking about kayaks naturally because you were the next guest, and Carolyn has a friend that had a blow up kayak, and we were talking about the blow-up kayak. I don't think that it would be comparable to the professional kayaks out there. What do you think about these? Have you seen them, the blow-up kayaks?
I mean, I personally, if people want to fish one of those in the tournament, they could definitely try it. I mean, we have, as we talked about before, we have a bunch of safety boats and precautions, so they could give it a try, but I don't recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, you got to understand when you're out there, you got so many sharp objects with you.
Yeah.
And
that was my first.
But
yeah.
Let's say you're out there and you catch a monster wahoo or kingfish, you bring that puppy into the, into there and it's still going nuts. It would definitely, I would think, pop one of those.
I think it would be okay for fun kind of thing, but I don't know if I'd want to put a fishing rod on one of them and hook that thing and then
exactly.
And that would be when she said a blow up, that was the first thing I thought of. Oh my gosh, knowing me, the way things go. So let's talk a little bit about the Extreme Kayak Tournament. I think you have one of them or two of them coming up, right?
Yeah, obviously, this year's been kind of crazy. And we had to move our exotic roundup tournament. So that one now is actually the last one of the year. That's going to take place September 26th. And that's our first freshwater tournament for extreme kayak fishing. So we're really excited about it. I came up with a plan actually last year, and I just thought, let's open up our database a little more and get some more people. And vice versa, we might get freshwater guys that want to try the offshore part.
Sure.
But now we're giving people options to do it back and forth. So we're excited, and this type of tournament is totally different. You're catching only exotic fish. So you have here in South Florida, our main fish would be the peacock bass. And now this is a catch and release tournament partly. The main fish for the main prize would be peacock bass. And then we also have a clown knifefish division. And that's also a catch and release. And the way we're setting that up, that division, is kind of like how we do our sailfish tournament. We have some awesome guides and sponsors that are letting us use skiffs for this event. So they'll essentially be the camera boats, help boats, and document boats in this tournament. So that'll be an awesome division, and that's a $500 division sponsored by Nautical Ventures. First place is actually $2,000 for the heaviest single peacock bass. And we also have a snakehead division, and that's a kill, and that's actually by law. So that'll be a kill division, and it's just single heaviest snakehead. And then we got a whole bunch of other fun stuff like a red tail catfish division, and a couple others. So, like I said, something like this hasn't really been done before, I think, on this kind of scale. And I think what's also great about the exotic roundup is that the out-of-towners that we get for this tournament will be great, just like we do with our offshore tournaments, because they can't catch these fish anywhere else in the country. So it's another type of tournament that we're putting on that's great for people, let's say from up north, or that come from California or wherever. And then our next tournament coming up, which is actually coming up really fast, is the popular and the oldest, it's our 10th year, the Summer Slam. And unfortunately, the Summer Slam Part 1 we had to cancel just because there was no way we would be able to move it back and get it so close to the other Summer Slam 2. It would just be too difficult because of the way that we structure it. And, you know, I'm a crazy man when it comes to perfection. So I'd rather just do one Summer Slam and make it just awesome for these guys. And what we did was we upped the payout to $7,500 for first place. And we have some awesome divisions like heaviest wahoo. Am I still on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I'm
cool,
picking
cool.
up.
I'm hearing all these noises.
Yeah, I'm picking up some noise in the background.
Okay. And then we also have heaviest wahoo division, which is $500. We have heaviest mahi-mahi division, which is $500. And we have our Calcutta for heaviest kingfish. And that's a bet between the anglers, and that's going to be a $100 buy-in. And we're giving away Hobie kayaks for second and third, an Outback and a Revo, and just a bunch of other goodies and prizes. And, you know, that's our big tournament for the year. That's our, you know, that's the one where you have the tents on the beach, and we have a huge stage set up. And it's great. You know, we got vendors there, sponsors, food. If an angler comes back and has a kink in the shoulder, they can get a massage on the beach.
Nice.
It's great for local businesses. We have a lot of the local guys here in Pompano, and especially everything that's been going on. I think that'll be great for them. And, yeah, we're excited for the rest of the year. That's taking place August 29th, and that's going to be a Saturday.
Now, that's in Pompano, right?
Yes, that one's taking place in Pompano Beach, and the exotic roundup is taking place in Lake Ida, which is Delray.
How many people you think are you expecting for the Lake Ida deal?
Well, to be honest, I really don't know. You know, right now we have about 50 guys signed up, which is really early. But actually, those 50 plus people were signed up for the one, you know, because it was supposed to happen in April. And now that we moved it to September, you know, we're still gradually getting signups, but we're not really promoting that one fully yet, you know, because we got the Summer Slam before that.
Mm-hmm.
But I anticipate for that one, because it'll be a lot easier for people when it comes to, you know, you're fishing in a lake rather than fishing offshore in an ocean.
Yeah.
I think we'll definitely get over 100.
Wow.
I really just don't know right now how many we'll exactly get. But I do think because a lot of the guys that are signed up now are out-of-state guys. We actually have a lot of guys from the Carolinas coming, and quite a few guys from Tennessee. So, you know, the locals aren't really signed up yet.
Uh-huh.
So we really don't have a gauge, but I'm definitely going to say it's over 100.
Wow.
For the first one. And if it goes well, you know, the potential for that one is going to be a series. So you would have the Sailfish Smackdown to start the year off, which this year was amazing. That tournament was epic. Broke a bunch of records. You can go to Extreme Kayak Fishing to check out the Sailfish Smackdown this year. It was great. But, you start the year off with the Sailfish Smackdown, and then the middle of the year you have the Exotic Roundup, which would be a series. And then, during the summer you end it with the Summer Slam, and the winner wins the ring.
Wow. Definitely a lot going on for you, and I am so grateful that you did call in, because I wanted to give the information out to the people. I wasn't aware that you were going to do a freshwater one. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a neat twist on what you've been doing. It is something, if you've never seen, I've seen some of the videos. I've never seen it. I can imagine seeing it in person. But if you've never seen some of the stuff that he does, you got to go on his website and take a look. He's got videos. He's got pictures. It is something that to behold, to see all these people going out at the same time. It is really a sight to see. Let me see. Carolyn, you still there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was lucky enough to go to some of the summer events too. And as Joe was saying, there's tents, there's music cranking. People are, if they get tired, they come back in and get a little massage. They go back out and do battle looking for the fish. So it's something everyone can afford. Families can go out, just park and just walk to the beach, bring your gear, and just hang out and watch. It's a great day out.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's great for people too. Like if they just want to come and check it out,
just to spend a day,
and check out an event going on. We also have a paddleboard competition going on. We have a fitness obstacle course going on. And there's a lot other things that people can do if they show up and just want to check out the event. And then, of course, and the kids love this, the grand finale at the end is, when we play the game like Guess the Weight, for instance, where we have the fish on stage and I'm on the mic, doing my thing, and kids get to guess the weight. And if you win, you get a prize. If you lose, you get a prize. It's just a lot of fun. So definitely bring the family if you want to check out the Summer Slam.
Great way to spend a day with your family. Dad and mom or dad, or maybe both, could be out kayak fishing. The kids could be enjoying a lot of the activities that are available. Great way to spend a day, and a great organization putting it on. I want to tell you that first and foremost with Joe, he'll be the first to tell you, but I'll tell you before he does, is safety. He is most interested in everybody having a good time, but the priority is safety, that everybody is safe, and he goes above and beyond to make sure that people are out there are covered, that there's assistance available almost immediately, and that's pretty hard to do when you're on the water, to get anywhere almost immediately. So I'm grateful for you, my friend. Thank you for calling in. I wish you an awesome day. I'm going to let Carolyn say goodbye to you, and we'll take a quick break.
Absolutely, Joe. I see you around in your big black truck, so I'll make sure I honk next time, and look forward to seeing you at the next event.
I hear the baby.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you having on. Sorry I called a little late.
That's all right.
It's been chaos here, but
I figured. I really did.
Thank you so much for. Thank you for letting me promote the tournament.
Oh, no problem. I'm honored to have you on. I'll be looking forward to having you on again with updates. But when you didn't get in on time, I figured, yep, kids, he got the kid.
It's happened before.
All right, my friend. Wish you well. Here we go.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens.
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, just real quick. I just want to give my Instagram out for people. We got over 20,000 fans on there. If you want to check out our videos and pictures and all that fun stuff, you could check out our Instagram, Extreme Kayak Fishing, one word, and you'll see everything right there. And then that'll link up to our website and everything else.
Great. All right, my friend.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped. Even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion. Air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. It just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah. Fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for taking time to join in, and hopefully you're enjoying what I enjoy doing the show. I'm always learning. I learned this morning about mosquitoes. Didn't know mosquitoes had 12 to 14 hour lifespan. I thought the little boogers lived forever. They wouldn't leave me alone. Gee, Manny. So anyway, we are back, and my co-host this morning is Carolyn with Atlas Trax. And, if you want to protect what you have to the max, you've got to call my friend Carolyn at Atlas Trax, and she will go above and beyond. Welcome back, Carolyn.
Again, Riscala.
Hey, I don't know what was happening when Joe was on, but I was getting it was really weird, a lot of high-pitched, very loud noises coming from you, and that's why I kept muting you. I'm sure when I mute you, you hear it on your end, right? You hear you've been muted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I figured I'd call in from the Marina, and the only thing that happened was the air conditioner kicked on here, which is commercial, so maybe that's created some feedback, so I just turned it up to 82.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have to do that. Gee. Now, I don't know if it was the air conditioner. Anyway, it was kind of weird. I've never had that problem with you before, so that was kind of bizarre. Anyway, it's summertime, and one of the things about summertime that people aren't careful about is getting out there in the sun and getting a little, maybe too much sun. So what do you do about that kind of thing? Well, the next person I asked to come on this morning, he's going to tell us a little bit about that. His name is Manny Altman. And he puts on a tournament as well up there in North Florida. It's called the Eggnog Tournament. Good morning, Manny. How are you, my friend?
I am great. It's she.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's okay. Now a lot of people think Manny is a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from South Texas, so there are a lot of guys named Manny. No.
Is it M-A-N-N-Y or M-A-N-N-I?
Yeah.
It is
M-A-N-N-Y.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at the name and I'm thinking it, masculine. Anyway, I apologize. Next time I open my mouth.
No problem. A lot of people that call me for orders and things like that, they think they're going to get a man too. It's kind of fun. And my voice is low, so it's cool.
Oh, well, no. You sound
Happy
like
Father's Day.
Thank you. You definitely sound like a lady to me. And while we're on the name thing, my first name, Rascala, people going to, when I was in school, I would get this thing from Barbizon. They'd put a P in front of Rascala, and all of a sudden now it's Priscilla. So I'm kind of sort of like, understanding where you're coming from when people, think that you're the other gender. Anyway, I know that.
Well, if you met me, my name is Marianne, but Marianne doesn't suit me. So Manny has always been my name since birth. My sister was 1, my brother was 2. They couldn't pronounce Mary, and it came out Manny. So I'll take it.
How cool is that? Well, I know that you wanted to share with us about suntan lotions, right?
Well, I actually make sun protection fingerless gloves and cut-off gloves and sun protection apparel.
Right.
And, I'm not a big promoter of my company. It's Tail and Toads. If people find me, great. If they don't, that's fine too, as long as they have some kind of sun protection. I'm a tournament angler with my husband, Chandler, and we're in the sun a lot. And it's just super important to protect yourself from the UV rays. I don't know if a lot of people take the time to actually read about skin cancer and stuff like that, but I wrote down a few things that I wanted to share with you guys, because if you don't research it, with most of us are just wanting to go fishing, right? If you don't research it and really know what risk you're at, it's pretty unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So it says that in the U.S., more than 9,500 people are diagnosed, 9,500 with skin cancer every day. More than 2 people die of skin cancer every hour. And that's pretty tremendous.
Wow.
When it's super avoidable. It says that if you use regular daily use of an SPF 15 or higher sunscreen reduces the risk of developing skin cancer by about 40%. And that's 15%, SPF, it's just a minimal amount,
mm-hmm.
40%, prevention. I just thought that was pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have now, from what I understand, that there is clothing that you can wear as well that can help with that. Am I right, or am I mistaken?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what I make. My fingerless gloves protect the top of your hand or hands, and they're a double layer, and each layer is 50 SPF. I advertise them as 50 SPF, but I sew each pair myself, and so you're getting as close as full protection as you can, still allowing your fingers to have full mobility and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a phenomenal shirt line that is fully sublimated, available in many different colors and designs. That's 50 SPF. It's 4.0 ounces, and it's moisture wicking and all that. So even though it's a long sleeve shirt, some I offer with a hood, it's 95 degrees outside with, stagnant, no wind, and it still is, you're able to be comfortable.
Yeah, from what I understand, you correct me if I'm wrong, but with this clothing, as your body begins to sweat, it literally begins to evaporate that sweat and then creates a cooling sensation. Am I right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I Pam Worth, I think she has some of your stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she's a great gal.
She described it to me, and because I was asking her, and I said, Pam, my gosh, you got a hat on, you got a scarf on, you got long sleeves on, you got gloves on. I'd be sweating so bad. She goes, no, you don't understand. And she explained some of that to me, and I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really neat. I never considered stopping the sun by using particular kind of clothing because, in my day, many years ago, when we'd go out offshore, we'd hardly have anything on because it would be so blasted hot we didn't have the kind of clothing that you have available today. We didn't have that technology. If you put a long sleeve shirt on, you sweat your behind off. It's that simple.
And I'm not going to say if we're fishing a tournament and we're super back country and it's humid outside and there's no breeze or anything, I'm not going to say I don't get hot.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah.
And the no-see-ums and those little gnat things and all that stuff. So then you just, after you get your fish that you want, you just go for a nice little on-plane boat ride.
There you go. Yep.
And you cool right off again. It's and the other thing is sometimes when we're fishing and it's just awful heat. We don't have any T-top or anything. We've got a blazer base, so we're going or a canoe and we're going skinny. So I just get a bottle of water and I pour it down my back, and the whole shirt gets wet, and I'm like you said, then it's moisture wicking, but it stays wet, and it just really cools your body temperature down. It's awesome.
It's amazing how fast you can get cold. Did I cut you off, Carolyn? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Manny, you said something really interesting. You said you hand sew all the gloves yourself. So how would one, like me, I have a ladies fishing team, and that's the only part of my body that's not protected. How would one order the right size gloves? How does that work? And that's pretty cool that you're selling your own product.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I started almost 9 years ago. My mom was a world-renowned artist, and she got killed. And so she was my person. I'm the middle of 5 kids, and I didn't know how to grieve her. So I went and bought a sewing machine, taught myself how to sew, and then started tail and toads, which you're in the fishing industry. A tail and toad is a tail and redfish. So, anyway, so I came up with the name, and I cut a pair of my husband's socks for a thing, and he walked down the stairs from waking up, and he's like, "Babe, what are you doing?" And I said, "Man, I got to grieve somehow. I don't want to do it I don't want to go negative. I want to go positive and honor Mom." So this is what I did, and it's really grown into something that is pretty special. I don't do a lot of advertising, and Carolyn, to answer your question, I mean, I'm the only person, so I'm the president of my company, and people just pick up the phone and call me. I mean, you can find me on social media under Manny Aldrich Altman, but you can also go to my website, which is tailandtoads.com. You can call me. I'm one of those that actually picks up the phone. And so you can do a custom order for you guys, and how they run is because they have 4-way stretch in them. I do small, medium, and large, extra large.
And what do you find most women are?
Small, medium. I'm a small, medium.
Well, I would definitely like to get some gloves coming your way, help a small woman-owned business and a lady angler as well. And it's something that we really, really need as I'm getting older. I see those spots on my hands. I'm out in the sun too much. I would love to talk to you after the show.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I hear you on the spots and stuff. I mean, it's almost time for my skin check, and we go every 6 to 8 months, and it doesn't matter, from what my dermatologist has told me is that everything that she's cutting off me, or burning off me is from youth.
Wow.
I mean, so that's a good thing. It means that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing now to take care of myself. We were not educated back then. Remember when the days we put Crisco on us and baked in the sun and thought it was super cool to be dark? We all did it.
We put the baby oil on. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of the days we put baby oil. Oh, gee,
all right, we're showing our age now, but
literally
I'm just saying, like,
frying
for
ourselves.
me, I mean, look, 1 in 5 people develop skin cancer by the time they're 70.
Wow.
I've had skin cancer one time on my arm, and they had to cut all the way to the bone, and they got it all. But I've got a big old scar on my arm, and, lesson learned. And just ironically, and it's a great, it's not a great thing that it happened, but it's great that I have something to say, hey guys, look at this.
Yeah.
Do you want this? Do you want, and I have a friend of a friend who recently passed from skin cancer, who was an angler as well. And it's really sad when it's preventable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the way that I want to die.
Yeah.
So to me, the way that like I said, I don't really advertise because I'm out in the angler world, right? And I fish against a lot of people. They wear my gear. Okay. So they're familiar with my gear. Sea Hag Marina carries a lot of my stuff, and there's a few other stores that carry a lot of my stuff, but I just don't push it. Like, I don't do the China thing, for $1. That's just not my scene.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do and sew and control everything myself, and know what's going into it. But there's a lot of great companies out there, not just mine. There's a lot of big companies. I just don't mass produce overseas. It's just Manny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. You and Carolyn have a lot of similarities. She's a woman-owned business. She's somebody that you can call. I don't want to say for her, but I tell you, she's somebody you can call just about any time if you need her services. She's right there for you. The two of you are very similar in your mind with regard to how to treat other people. And I'm a strong supporter of family-owned small companies, and that's all three of us are in the same category. I have a small family-owned business as well as you, as well as Carolyn, and right now more than ever, we are needing the help of the people out there because of what we've all been through this insanity of this pandemic, and it has really hurt a lot of us tremendously. And so right now, as we go through this reopening of Florida, more than ever, I want to support small businesses, particularly women-owned businesses. There's not a whole lot of them in comparison to men-owned businesses. And when they're family-owned and locally owned, there's many advantages to doing that, many. A lot of people think about pennies are the first thing that they think about. Well, if I go to a big corporation, I can save some pennies. Well, when you take the pennies and spend them with a locally owned, family-owned business, the odds are about 60 to 63 cents of every dollar that you spend with them comes back into to the local area some way, shape, or form, either through a tax or them. How many small businesses do you know of that they donate to your kids, whatever it is? It's a football team, a basketball team, a volleyball team. That's where a lot of the money comes from. It comes from small businesses. So they're always giving back to the community in one way, shape, or another. Where a large corporation, the data shows that only about 40 cents of every dollar that you spend stays here in the local area. So there's advantages, many advantages to dealing with a small business. And this is one of the reasons why I support small businesses and family-owned businesses. Just you, when you're a customer for a small business, you're part of the family. When you're a customer with a corporation, you're a number. And if you think I'm exaggerating, call one of these big corporations when you need help. Call AT&T or Comcast or one of these big corporations when you need help, and see how long you have to wait before. I'm not talking them down. I'm just saying these are facts. I'm not trying to say they're bad, good, or indifferent. I'm just saying these are the facts. If you call one of these companies, you're going to spend a lot of time on the phone trying to figure out your problem, trying to get your problem resolved. You call somebody like Carolyn, or you call somebody like Manny, or you call somebody like me, it's going to happen right away. Why? Because we look at you as a part of our family. You're supporting our family. You're not supporting a CEO to buy his third or fourth home somewhere around the world. You're helping put food on the table for a small family, and that's important to them, and you'll be treated in that manner. That's, again, these are just some of the things that my heartstrings, kids, small companies, things of that nature. It's all about helping us together. Here's the way I look at it. If I can do something that will benefit you, and then you do something that benefits somebody else, and they do something that benefits somebody else, everybody is benefiting. I'm part of everybody. And that's why I like to do these kind of things, where everybody benefits, because kind of in a selfish way, I'm part of everybody. Anyway, I want to thank you so much for taking time to come on. Again, I apologize. I'm not going to make that mistake again. I made myself a little note. We're not going to do that again.
I think that I just want to say that I'm honored to be on, and I appreciate you guys reaching out to me. And Carolyn, super nice to meet you. I wanted to give a shout out to Joe, Hector, and Maria, and their sweet little baby girl that they had, and they do great things. And they're good people. I follow them on Facebook, and also I wanted to remind everybody that CCA Florida Star Tournament starts July 1st.
Yep.
Gonna be a biggie.
We had Lisa on a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, and she was telling us.
She's a great friend of mine.
These are, again, the fishing community here in South Florida is just absolutely amazing. The people are, my gosh, if we had more people in the world that were of the mentality of the fishing community here in South Florida, I would venture to say, I'm going to stick my neck out and say, I think most of the problems we have would be gone, really, because we all look out for each other. We go out of our way to help each other. Anyway, my dear, I wish you an awesome day. I didn't let Carolyn say a whole lot to you this. I apologize, Carolyn.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Oh,
Hey,
you're
that's all right. I was just tagging along and listening and getting the tips on the skin cancer, and I'm glad you beat that. And I can't wait to talk to you and friend you and get a pair of your gloves. I'll wear them even if I'm just out in the yard working. I can't wait.
I think I'm maxed out. I just saw this morning. I think I'm maxed out on Facebook on friends. So private message me, and I'll ditch somebody and add you.
Great. Well, thank you for calling in, and happy Father's Day to everybody out, up in your family, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day to y'all. And I'll talk to you soon.
God bless you. I'm looking forward to having you back on with an update. Be well.
Thank you. You as well.
All right. We're going to forego the break because we did carry on with Manny a little longer than I expected. But that's all right. That's a pleasure. That's why I like doing what I do. The availability of doing it live versus recording it and playing it back. This is some of the advantages that we have. We can carry on a little longer than is necessary. So we do have a little bit of a leeway there. My next guest, Joe. Joe is. Oh, excuse me, I went down the wrong way that time. Joe is with Blue Seas Fresh Fish, and he's got a fishing report, I think, for us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, guys. How y'all doing? Happy Father's Day.
Joe on the show.
Say it again, Carolyn.
Hello.
Father's Day, Joe. It's great having you on the show.
Oh, thank you. And how you guys doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Enjoying my day. It's going to be a gorgeous day out here. Now, where are you at, Joe? Are you? It looks like it's Fort Lauderdale. Are you down in Fort Lauderdale?
I just moved to Lauderdale by the Sea.
Oh my goodness!
So it's beautiful, a little small town, cool little community. I really love this city. I've lived here once before in the past, and it's grown on me.
Carolyn's out there enjoying the view of the ocean. Can you see the ocean from where you're at?
No, but I can certainly smell it. No, I'm like 3 houses away from A1A, and then the ocean's right across the street. So it's pretty close. Pretty cool spot. But hey, listen, I want to thank you guys for all your prayers. We have some great news. Our son had his last cancer treatment about 2
Thank you,
weeks ago.
God. Thank you, God.
Yeah,
Hallelujah.
he is looking good. He looks amazing. He's really had no side effects the whole time. His mom has done an amazing job keeping him healthy. We all have. It's been tough, but it's been an interesting struggle, to say the least.
Well, I am one who believes strongly in the power of prayer. I've seen what prayer can do, and I have witnessed personally what prayer can do, and it's pretty astonishing. But
yeah, I think we all have to some extent.
Well, that's excellent news. Excellent news, Joe. I'm glad to hear that. How are we doing with the fishing?
The fishing. I mean, we have a live bait business, and we have a commercial sword fishing business, and then we have the fresh seafood delivery service. So we've got 3 small businesses that are local, and all of them provide a pretty cool service to the local community as well. The fishing business, yesterday we went sword fishing. We did a daytime trip yesterday, and it was absolutely gorgeous. We motored out to the swordfish grounds, and when we got there was quite a bit of a parking lot out there.
You're kidding me.
I think everybody got the news that it was going to be a nice day.
Oh, my God.
We sat there and watched the rod tip for about 6 hours to no hits, nothing. It was pretty boring, but it was a beautiful day, and we really enjoyed ourselves.
You know, now that you said that, I said earlier before you came on, going fishing, I compare it to the lottery. You can go out and, you can spend $1 at the lottery store, and you may win, you may not win. You don't know.
Well, but when you're a commercial fisherman, you kind of don't like playing lottery.
Yeah.
You kind of like going when the fishing's going to be good and the weather is decent, and you have an opportunity to bring home, some nice fish.
I was surprised when you said. I was surprised
we had one other trip this week.
When you said parking lot, there was that many boats out there?
I mean, we call it a parking lot. When you're in the middle of the ocean, 25 miles offshore,
Yeah.
and there's 5 boats within
Holy
half a
smokes.
mile of you, that seems like a parking lot
Oh,
when you're in
yeah.
the middle of nowhere.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but everyone kind of goes and starts and fishes the same kind of area. The sword grounds are like a 3 mile by 2, like maybe a 3 mile by 3 mile stretch, where the bottom is just really, really wicked, and there's a lot of currents and upwellings, and brings a lot of bait up to the surface. And there's just a lot of fish out there. There's actually a lot of swordfish out there. So to go out and not get a bite is, I would say it's rare. I would say it's very rare.
Wow.
We had another trip this week. We have a buoy fishing permit. So we go out there and we stick 32 buoys out in the middle of the ocean in a straight line with a squid on each one. And we monitor the balls all night long. And so we did one trip this week. We caught 3 swordfish, almost about 140 pounds, and the 2 other ones were small. So it was a decent trip. It's been tough. Sword fishing's been slow, but bait fishing's been really, really good. And people, I think this extended spring break that everybody's had for the last couple of months has caused people to go fishing quite a bit. I will say, none of our marinas. I mean, we haven't had bait in the marinas in months. We haven't been able to keep bait in the marinas. It's been 2 months.
My goodness. Wow.
It's like every day the boats come in, they bring the bait, they drop them off, and then by 10 o'clock in the morning, all the customers come and bought everything that we caught the night before. And it seems like it's happened. I'm not complaining by any means, because it's hard to sell bait that dies in your pen.
Yeah,
so
yeah. The faster it moves, the better.
Right away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. The faster you move it, the better. The fresher it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious about the. Go
I
ahead.
have a question on the buoys. You said you put out like 30 buoys and you check them. What do you have to? Can you tell our listeners? Do you have to drive buoy to buoy? Is there some way to know if you have a fish? How does that work?
Well, the buoys go out in a straight line over about a 5-mile stretch. So you try and put them out. When you're putting them out, you put them out as straight as possible, and then all night long you kind of just drive up and down that 5-mile stretch. And if one of them is offline, then there's something happened, and you go check it. Sometimes they just go under and they don't come back up, which is crazy.
Oh,
You find one missing every once in a while.
Oh my!
Yeah, there's some monsters out there. But yeah, the buoys are out in a straight line. We put them out at sunset. We pull them in at sunrise, and they just stay out there all night. We check them periodically, change the baits on them, and just you sit out there in the middle of nowhere and just watch these little lights flicker all night.
Are they anchored?
No, they're floating freely in the ocean in a straight line. They're not connected to each other. They're all individual. And that's the law. I mean, the permit that we have here in South Florida doesn't allow long lining, which is very, very bad for fishing.
Yeah.
So this is a little more hands-on approach. It gets us more in touch with the fish more often, whereas they put a long line and they come back and check it 6 hours later, and half the things on it are dead, and half the things on it they weren't even trying to catch. So that's what they did here for years, and they really decimated our swordfish population. I mean, completely decimated to the point of almost extinction. It was so bad.
Wow.
You couldn't catch a swordfish back in the 90s. And then they changed the rules, and within a few years, the whole fishery came back, and every single year I started fishing for swordfish in 2001. And very, very few people even did it back then, but we did it on from a boat with fishing rods and leads and balloons, and that's how we did it back then. And now we kind of do it the same way, but just with big buoys that float out in the middle of nowhere, and a lot of them.
That's amazing. So, and I'm curious. You said how many buoys have you lost?
Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about that. So they're about $300 a piece, and
oh my God,
one night a guy went out and took the boat and all the gear out, and he came back with 4 less buoys than he left with.
Lord have mercy.
4 of them.
Have you ever?
One of the first nights I ever went, I lost a buoy. I was so upset. I was literally wanting to cry. I was like, "How do you lose these things? They're so expensive." And then the next day, my phone number's on the buoys with my FL number. The next day, I get a call from a guy in Jupiter. He said, "Yeah, I found a buoy floating out here," and he ended up bringing it. He was actually working on the pier on the bridge in Pompano. So he brought it down to me and dropped it off at my house. That was the only one I ever got back. I was the first one I lost.
And that's strictly because the fish is that big, it just pulls it.
That's amazing.
Man, one night early on, I put like the third to the last buoy out, and then I turned around and came back down the spread, and it was gone. And I could tell because I had too big of a gap between those buoys, and they're all numbered too, so they're all numbered in a straight line, so we can keep track of them. So I get there and the buoy's gone, and I'm looking all over for this thing, and it's dark, but they have big flashers on them. So I'm thinking maybe they didn't turn the light on, and we got a big flashlight out looking for the little reflectors on the buoys, and couldn't find it. Came back down the spread again a couple hours later, it still wasn't there. The whole night it was missing. So at the end of the night, we pull all the buoys in, and it takes about an hour and a half to do it. And by the time I got I had 3 buoys left, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, out in the distance, I see a flicker, which looks like one of our lights. And sure enough, it flickers again. And so we stop pulling the buoys in, and we go run over to it. And sure enough, it was the buoy that was missing all night.
Wow.
And it came up. It had a straightened hook on the bottom of it.
Oh, my gosh.
It spent 7 hours under the water. And these buoys are pretty big, and they can, they're hard to take under. And if you do take them under, they try and come back to the surface and pull you up. So whatever was on the end of that hook was giant.
And then
it ate
straight?
early in the night, and it stayed down the whole night. It's probably a big tuna, maybe a big bluefin tuna or a giant big eye tuna, something like that.
So now I have a question for Carolyn, because I know she. Anyway, let me ask Carolyn, how does your stuff work underwater, Carolyn?
Our trackers, well, they work up to about 10 feet. But I'll tell you what, I think what you need is one of those great weight trackers that they put on that ocean research vessel.
No. Look, they're there's a lot of big fish out there, but majority of the time, the fish we catch are 50, 60 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's the average size. So those fish really don't even take a buoy under, and if they do, it pops back up pretty quick, and they don't have the strength. But 300, 400, 500 pound fish, they're out there swimming around every night. And if one of those eats your bait, he's going to take the buoy down, and sometimes they don't come back up.
That's amazing. So that's why I was asking Carolyn. So what is the largest that you've ever caught off a buoy?
The biggest one we caught was in January of this year, and it was what we do when we catch them is we chop their heads off, we cut their stomachs out, we chop their fins and their tail off, and we call that the core. So that's the core of a swordfish, and that's how we weigh them. So we don't weigh the whole fish.
Mm-hmm.
That one, the biggest one, was in January. I think it was 388 pounds was the core.
Wow. So it's probably a couple of 100 pounds.
Maybe 470 pound fish.
Yeah.
Wow. Big fish. Yeah, big fish.
Wow. And
that was caught on my little boat. I have a 25-foot contender in 1986. That is really cool boat, but it's old, but it's small. And when you put 32 buoys and 500 pounds of ice on that little boat, it's not a lot.
Holy
of room
smokes!
for air. So it was caught on that boat, and there was no place to even put the fish. Like the ice box on that boat is big, but it's not that big.
Wow.
It's not that big.
Now, I take it you have swordfish available locally. You sell it, right? Or do you have to go through a distributor?
Yes. Well, what we do, Blue Seas Fresh Fish is a company that has a swordfish permit, and it also has a retail seafood delivery service. So what we have to do, because I can't sell my fish retail like to you. I can't do that.
That's why I was asking. Yeah.
Permitting, and it's USDA and FDA. So we deal with Floridian Wholesale, which is a very, very large wholesaler. It's been here for 40 years in town. And we bring them the fish and sell it to them, and then we buy it back from them, vacuum sealed, filleted, and packaged, ready for delivery. So, we do that a lot of times with the swordfish and any other fish we catch. I've got permits for mahi and wahoo and Spanish mackerel, some HMS permits as well. So there's a lot of fish we can catch and sell, and they buy pretty much everything. And, they have all the permitting and the approvals from the USDA and the FDA. So we can bring them the fish, and they give it back to us ready for you to eat.
Hot dog. So it comes vacuum sealed, ready to go. All you got to do is put it in the freezer and then pull it out whenever you're ready to eat it.
You know what? I would definitely try and tell you to never put fish in the freezer.
Really?
Kiss of death to yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, if we catch a lot of fish, we can't eat it all, so we have to do something to preserve it. And I guess that's when you freeze it. But this fish we fillet, vacuum seal, and deliver the fish 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you're getting a fish that was literally filleted the same day that you're receiving it at your house. You sometimes we even catch a fish, it gets filleted that morning. We catch it that morning, bring it in, it gets filleted, and you're eating it that night, which you can only do that if you have a boat or you know how to fish, and you can catch it yourself. But it's pretty fresh. It's pretty fresh. Guaranteed. Guaranteed is as fresh as it's going to get.
And what area do you serve?
We serve Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County.
Oh, my.
All 3 counties. We charge a $10 delivery fee for Dade and Palm Beach County, and a $5 delivery fee for Broward County.
Wow. Now I know one of them. I think one of the companies is called Blue Seas Fresh Fish.
BlueSeasFreshFish.com is where you would go to order the
Okay.
fish, and there's probably 10 choices, 10 things to choose from. We usually have a special going. We try and find something that's really fresh and local, and we'll try and promote that fish. Big yellowfin tuna that was caught a couple months ago was about 120 pounds, caught off Lake Worth Pier, and that fish must have fed 50 families in town.
Wow.
Are you, Joe, are you still doing the jack of all trades, catching them and delivering them? Are you still out doing that?
You talking about the bait fishing?
No, actually doing the deliveries of the fillets. I know that you were doing that last time you were on the radio show because you just wanted to get out there and meet the clients. You still doing the deliveries yourself personally as a business owner?
Yeah, absolutely do. Either I do them or Jessica does them. We've got another person that works for us, so one of the three of us will always be doing them for now, at least until it gets a little bigger.
Again, this is why
but it's very hands-on. I know you guys, before I came on, you guys were talking about local and how you can call up a local company, and a lot of times the owner is going to answer, and it's the same thing here.
Yeah.
It's the same thing here. My phone rings all day long, and if someone either wants bait fish, they want fresh seafood, or they want to go fishing. It's one of the three, and it happens all day, and I answer every call. And when we started Hillsborough Inlet Live Bait back in 2010. We answered every call for the entire time we owned that business, either myself or my wife. And every customer got saved in our phone, their name, their type of boat, any other notes that we could put on them. And that's the way we built our business. We built it through knowing who our customers were, what they liked, what they wanted. And we answered the phone sometimes. Hey, John, how's it going? Or, hey, Mike, we knew who was calling.
Yeah, and this is a testimony to what I said earlier. Dealing with a small company, you're not just a customer. You actually become an extended part of the family. That makes just a tremendous advantage. And the relationship, again, you're dealing with a person and a person. You're not calling up somebody who deals with hundreds of people a day, has a script to follow. I'm sorry, I can only do this much. I'll have to escalate this. And this is after God knows how much time you spend on the phone trying to get it done. There's so many advantages. And again, I want to emphasize, now more than ever, small businesses need our help. So when you are getting ready to do something, please consider a small business first. Many times, there's so much more advantages to dealing with a small business. If you pay an extra $3 or $4 or $5, it's well worth it because it's coming back to the community again. In one way, shape, or form, it's coming back. And particularly in the fishing community, I am truly honored to be a small part of the fishing community and witnessing what people do for each other in the fishing community, time and time again. I am so grateful to hear the news about your son. Thank you, God.
Well, the fishing community was a big part of that too, and they helped us out. I can't tell you how many people stepped up from the fishing community. Chasing Tails, I know you guys know them. Summer Warren.
Yep.
Just people out there just that you didn't even know existed popped out of the woodwork, and a lot of them were fishermen because fishermen just have
different
people.
Yeah. It's just something about it. Well, I'm out of time in this slot, my friend. Thank you so much. I want to let Carolyn. I have been hogging. Carolyn, I apologize on the RTI. I've kind of been hogging, but there's a lot of these questions are coming across my mind, and I'm shooting them first before I'm allowing you to ask. So forgive me.
No worries at all. I'm looking out the window watching people get some fuel at the Sands Harbor Marina. So and Joe, I can call him and say hi anytime. So I appreciate it, Joe. My best. Happy Father's Day, and we'll see you in the neighborhood.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate you guys calling, letting me call in and giving time for me to promote our businesses and plug them. And thank you guys for your continued prayers.
Yeah, God bless you, my friend. Be well. Wish you an awesome day. So long.
Have a great day.
All right, my friends, that's Joe and his company, BlueSeasFreshFish.com. You can get the freshest fish. I don't think you can get them much fresher than that unless you're somebody like Carolyn, got a boat and go out there and get it yourself. Or maybe, just maybe, somebody like our next guest, who is Betty Bowman, that works with ladies primarily. Not afraid to work with men as well, but primarily ladies. And her company is Ladies Let's Go Fishing. Hello, Betty. How are you, my dear?
Good. I'm actually on Joe's website. I haven't been fishing, so actually by the time you buy it from him, it's a lot less expensive than taking your boat out. I hope he delivers to West Fort Lauderdale.
I think he does. All right, go ahead, Carolyn.
Good morning, Betty. I was I was receiving all your emails on the virtual auction that you had, and keeping us girls still involved, even though we couldn't get out and go fishing.
These virtual meetings have been so much fun because it's not like a webinar that's one way. I show the videos of the ladies that are attending. Sometimes we have 50 or 60, and it's free. And then the fun thing we do every time is rock the boat. So everybody's going back and forth. We simulate that we're on a rocking boat.
How funny.
And the ladies, they show their fish, their pets. And we have guest speakers from all over the state, usually 2 or 3 guides. It's kind of like our own little TV show, but they can interact.
How cool is that?
Yeah, we've done 4 of them. And then we have a raffle that keeps the program going. And
Good.
Give away some usually $300 or $400 worth of sunglasses, rods and reels and stuff.
Well, with the state slowly opening back up again, are you getting some relief with regard to having business return now?
Not much. We had an online auction. We didn't have a whole lot of bids. It's just a sign of the times. But we're getting by. I'm packing up right now for our Fort Myers seminar.
Oh, good.
Next weekend.
Good.
We've got some great speakers. We've got Captain Debbie Hansen, John Feder, Rob Fussnecker, and Baitbox is sending some people to help. So, our classes are more limited as far as numbers right now because we need the social distance.
I was going to ask you, my mind just went blank. I just went completely blank. Carolyn, help, Carolyn.
That's all right. So how would the ladies be able to find you if they wanted to attend that Fort Myers seminar?
Oh, it's all on the website. They can sign up. All the information is there. They can sign up for the fishing, which they need to do in advance because, if I don't book these captains, they'll take another charter. It's on the website, www.ladiesletsgofishing.com. And do I have time to talk about what else we have this year?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't know. So we have added a scalloping trip. And that's
cool.
Because when we did the virtual seminar last time, I showed how to cook scallops on the half shell and why, how it keeps them moist and all that. And everybody started getting excited about scalloping. And I had Red Ed Brennan from Homo Sasso call in as one of the captains to tell us what's happening there.
Yep.
So I added it. And that's August 8th. We have August 14th to the 16th. We have our Keys, Screaming Reels, Learning on the Water tournament. August 21st to the 23rd is our South Florida offshore seminar with fishing. They all have fishing. September 12th to the 13th is at the Progressive Tampa Boat Show for inshore fishing. Then we have October 23rd to the 25th, our Keys with fishing and the full day seminar on inshore and offshore. And November 21st to the 22nd, we have the St. Augustine Surf Fishing Academy at Guy Harvey Resort.
Well, you
fishing on the beach.
You got a full plate there.
And the Night of Lights private golf cart tour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
this weekend we'll be at Bass Pro Shops.
Which one?
So surf fishing, that's a new one for you, right?
No, we've been doing surf fishing for several years. Last year was the first time at the Guy Harvey Resort, and we like that because they have a hotel, and the beach is right out front. So you can stay at the hotel, walk to the beach, and then the bus picks us up for the Night of Light tour. So there's
Resort at Betty.
fun.
Where is that resort located?
St. Augustine, where the beaches are wide and the people are nice.
I love it. That's great. Well, if you want more information about what Betty's doing, it's ladiesletsgofishing.com. And the thing I like about Betty is that she, in my life's experience, I'll put it this way, in my life's experience, my mom fortunately was somebody who loved fishing. And I think that there are other ladies out there who would like to do it, but they feel intimidated because it has been, and it's changing, and it's a good change, but it has been, pretty much of men, predominantly men, in this industry. And somebody like Betty comes along, and she can teach you literally from A to Z how to pick the line, how to tie the knot, how to catch the fish, how to clean the fish, how to cook the fish, on literally from A to Z. And she's a woman-owned, small, family-owned company. Again, this is the kind of thing that are the passions of my heart, to continue to support these kind of businesses, because the backbone of our country is on small businesses. We're the guys who pay to keep everything going, basically. The big corporations have millions and millions of dollars, and they have who knows how many lawyers, and you guys figure out how we're not going to pay taxes this year. Us little guys, we don't have that. We're not afforded that. We end up paying the taxes. We end up putting back to the community. So any time that you can support a small business, by all means, please consider that. And Betty, by all means, is a small woman-owned business, helping other women become familiar with fishing, teaching them from A to Z, from catching to cooking.
Right, and it's really not about me teaching. It's about the guides who come in from the local areas to teach. I run the event; they teach. So I'm blessed to have people, even in these circumstances, who will come and show the ladies how to fish, and then we keep them connected. Our next virtual meeting is July 7th. And this is a way for people from all over, no matter they tune in from other countries even.
Wow.
So they couldn't come to our seminar maybe, because some of them are stuck in their countries.
Yeah.
They can't come here, so they can join us this way, and they really enjoy it. I just got a call last week from a lady in St. Augustine who's coming to the Fort Myers event, and she's recovering from breast cancer, and she wants to fish. It's on her bucket list, and so those are the kind of ladies that we get, and we get them from all walks of life, all backgrounds, and they're all welcome.
There is an aspect to this that I didn't mention, and that you kind of alluded to, and that's the relationship part. So not only are you going to learn about fishing, you're going to build relationships with other women who have same interests as you. And from what Betty tells me, some of these women, and I think, Carolyn, were you one of them? I may have you confused with somebody else, but they build lifelong relationships, close relationships with other women.
Absolutely. Absolutely, especially when you're going through something like that woman did with the breast cancer, and now she's trying to do something she's never done before, and she'll walk away from Betty's seminars just staying in touch with all those women for the rest of her life.
Yeah. So you're building.
That's what happens, and it's been really hard. All our spring events had to be rescheduled to the summer, which I used the summer to plan for the following year, and we had to make a decision. Do we keep trying or not?
Yeah.
And the answer was, we keep it going.
Yeah.
Even if we can't make ends meet for now, we keep it going because the future may be better.
Hopefully it is. Prayerfully it is. And I'm right there with you, my friend. It's been a real difficult. The last 90 days or so has been extremely difficult. What's happening with regard to small businesses is I believe, in my opinion, is they're suffering far, far more than the larger corporations are. It's a domino effect on top of that, where you have, I'm a small business that deals with other small businesses, so in the process of that, they get billing. They don't pay me right away. They get a 15 or 30-day billing period. They're not paying. Why? Because they're not getting paid. So it's a domino effect, creating more and more of a compression, if you will, with regard to the financial
aspect.
It's hard.
There are loans, and the thing is, how are you going to make the extra income to pay them back?
Yeah. And some of the stuff that they have, I did the PPP thing, and they said, nope, you don't qualify. I tried to do the unemployment thing. I have a hard time talking to anybody. Everything is artificial intelligence. Again, we're dealing with, it's my rant for the day. We're dealing with big corporations, whether that's your government or whether that's AT&T or Comcast or one of these other big guys. and you're
Well,
just
for
a number.
unemployment, I
you know?
wouldn't exactly call that intelligence. That system is really, really bad.
But I mean, they
And
don't have. You don't talk to anybody alive. Everything is computerized. You know, you can tell.
Right,
That
and there
you're-
are people in that March. The people that filed in March haven't gotten a dime, and now they can't pay their rents, and their cars are being.
It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad what we've been through. Again, one of the main reasons I do what I do with regard to supporting small businesses is you are part of their family. You are part of the support system for them. So please consider them. Ladies, let's go fishing.com. You can find all kinds of information there. Betty, do you have a phone number in case anybody wants to call you?
Yeah, 954-475-9068. And I have to add one thing.
Sure.
If it weren't for the sponsors, it would have been probably next to impossible to get through this time. I've been dying to take the Scout boat out. We've got Mercury, Take Me Fishing, a lot of sponsors, and because of that, we are able to make it through these trying times.
Trying times it is, my dear.
Yeah, they
glad
deserve
that,
a lot of credit.
I'm glad that
They're
you're
all on the
hanging in there. I'm glad that you're hanging in there. Let me let Carolyn say goodbye, and we're going to take a quick break. I wish you a wonderful day, Betty. Thanks again for taking time to call in. Go ahead, Carolyn.
I'd rather be fishing. Thank you.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped. Even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion. Air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. This is the last segment. Thank you for taking time to tune in and listen to us, and hopefully you're enjoying some of the show. I'm learning as we go along. I learned today about mosquitoes. I didn't know mosquitoes had 12 to 14 hours to live. I thought they lived forever. Little boogers constantly find me wherever I go, try to hide from them. Anyway, this morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Trax with me. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Happy Sunday to you and all the listeners.
Well, thank you, my dear. I've been a hog this morning. I apologize. I didn't do that on purpose. I just got carried away, and haven't given you an opportunity to say a whole lot. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to welcome the one and only Angelia. Go ahead.
Good morning, Angelia from Alaska.
Good morning from Seward, Alaska, you guys.
Oh my goodness! You know that there's nowhere for you to hide now.
I never try to hide. I tell you what, guys, I am sitting here at the harbor in Seward, Alaska that I just arrived to yesterday out of Anchorage, and I can turn my head completely 360 degrees around me, and no matter where I look, there are rocky peaks up all the way up into the clouds covered with snow, and it just could not be more beautiful.
Gosh. Wow.
It's like I got dropped into a wonderland again. It's just amazing. It's unreal. I'm in Seward, Alaska, so I'm surrounded by the most amazing snow-capped mountains you've ever seen. And I'm serious, you guys. You can turn your head 360 degrees around, and it doesn't matter where you look. There are rocky peaks all the way up into the clouds, completely covered with snow.
Wow.
It's 48 degrees this morning.
Angelia, I was going to have you tell our listeners what time is it in Alaska where you are right now?
It is 5:45. I am 4 time zones earlier than you guys, and I'm kind of grateful. We had to come into we came into Anchorage, and we had to get COVID testing to come into the state and quarantine until we got our results, which luckily only took about 2.5 days. So it was kind of nice that we got to hang out at a hotel in Anchorage and kind of shake off the jet lag and get used to the new time zone. And yesterday we got picked up upon receiving our negative COVID test results. And that's a requirement to enter the state of Alaska from out of state. So you have to get tested, or you have to show up with a test no longer than 3 days old, which was virtually impossible to do in Florida. So we just tested here. But as soon as we got our test results back yesterday, we got picked up and got brought out to Seward. The Seward Highway from Anchorage to Seward is just amazing. I mean, just mind-boggling. It's so beautiful. And it's a completely different world. I mean, being just a little Florida girl my whole entire life, I enjoyed last summer so much being up here that I couldn't wait to get up here again. And to get out of the 100 degrees heat to 40 to 48 degrees is a little bit of a shock. But this morning, no rest for the wicked. Wake up this morning and got our first trip this morning. We're running a 43-foot Delta head boat, and we've got 12 passengers today. We're going out for rockfish, and I got about an hour and a half crash course on the boat in the waters yesterday, and off I go.
Wow. Now, for those of for those listening, she said 5:45. That's not 5:45 p.m. That's 5:45 a.m. So
and you know what? It's not even a problem because my trips leave at 6:30 in the morning, so I've got to be up about 4:15 in the morning anyway. So it's all good.
Wow.
I'm very excited about going out today and going after some fish. And I've got a very challenging few months in front of me because, like I said, I've got a new boat, new waters. I got schooled by some very experienced captains up here yesterday. And like I said, got acquainted with the boat and acquainted with what I need to do. The rigs up here that we fish with are so much different than down in Florida. And thank goodness I had last summer to get that all under my belt. But I've got the pressure on now because some days we go after rockfish, ling cod, Some days we go after halibut and silver salmon, which haven't really come in here real good yet. But yeah, I've got the pressure on to catch fish, because when we get done with 12 passengers, we'll have 48 rockfish, 24 halibut, and as many as 36 silver salmon, and a couple lingcods, hopefully. So that's a good couple hours of cleaning fish at the end of the day as well.
That's a lot of
Yeah. So I've got sharpened knives and a tool belt on, and I've got 6 layers of clothes on and dry wear because it's a little misty out this morning. And yeah, completely as opposite of Florida as you could possibly get. So as far as a change of scenery, I definitely got that.
And Angelia, make sure you throw in your duffel bag that the Atlas Trax tracker, so that way we can kind of keep an eye on you, and you can look back at the trips and where you went today, and keep that with you.
Absolutely. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and plug Carolyn's Atlas Trax, because she was kind enough to give me one for this trip, and it's just amazing. Every 5 minutes I get a little text telling me where I'm at, and it's just awesome.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's just the coolest thing ever. And being able to see my trip yesterday from Anchorage out to Seward was just really cool, Carolyn. Thank you for sending me that screenshot. And yeah, it's just amazing. That Atlas Trax is awesome, and it really gives you the peace of mind of knowing that no matter what happens, somebody knows where you're at. Of course, we have EPIRBs on the boat, and I carry a personal locator beacon on my person at all times. But it's really, really nice, because if anything ever happened, there's no doubt of where you're at, where you've been. I was thinking about that, Carolyn, because even if something happened out on the boat with that Atlas Trax system, they can see where the boat floats. I mean, if you lost engines and you drifted for hours, there's no missing it. They're going to find you.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really cool, neat device. I've been really enjoying that, Carolyn. So thank you so very much.
Absolutely. And Rascala, what we did was we made a hyperlink for her family, meaning that a little link that anyone could click on from home that she gives it to, they can see her and her trips at any time. So if somebody, family member wants to see where she is later today, they just click on it and there she is.
Yeah, a little different than the EPIRB. The EPIRB doesn't go off until the emergency happens. This is going off the whole time. So you can. I'm curious, Carolyn. When you were tracking her, could you tell she was in an aircraft and was flying from one point to another? Does it show that?
Well, aircraft is tricky because it's so high, and and you've got the aluminum to bounce off the signal. But as soon as she landed and got herself to her hotel, clearly she started pinging right away.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and you're at an RV park right now, right, Angelia?
I was about an hour ago.
Yeah, I haven't looked lately, but. Yeah, perfect.
I told you, this Angelia, the song "I'll Be Watching You." Remember that by Sting?
I saw that text. That's amazing. Yes, that's very, very cool.
We'll be watching you.
Yeah, and my family is very grateful because they never have to worry about me. They know exactly where I'm at, and I keep in touch anyway. But it's just really fun for them to be able to watch my little travels, and everybody back in Florida who's not moving around the country, they get to see my little travels, and I think that's just so very cool.
That's awesome.
It's a really, really neat device.
That's awesome. So for anybody who's not familiar with what we're talking about, Angelia is my Keys contact, I kind of refer to. She's my regular that comes on, typically gives us a report from out of the Keys. But due to her ability and her skills, she's had the gig. I call it a gig. Last summer, she got to go to Alaska and sent back some just unbelievable pictures of the surroundings. And it looks like they loved her so much, they've asked her to come back for a second outing, and that's where she's at today. That's what she's doing today. Instead of being down in the Keys, you talk about going from one extreme to the other. Instead of being down there in the Keys, which probably 80-plus degrees, she's up in Alaska where it's 48.
I went from being down in the Keys. It was so hot outside in May. It was just amazing. I mean, so hot. And we all know that July and August are our hottest
they're the
months down there.
scorchers, yeah.
But in May, it was so stifling hot. It was just crazy. I couldn't imagine what it was going to be like in July and August. And I love the heat. I'm a Florida girl. I love the summer. But I tell you what, just to get the opportunity to come up here, it is worth layering up and putting on rubber boots and dry wear. It's just worth it. The fishing's amazing. And by the way, guys, the Resurrection Bay, which is where the harbor is that I'm fishing out of. It's all runoff glacier water. So it's the most beautiful turquoise color you have ever seen in your life. And I got to experience this last summer in lots of different places. Glacier Bay just kind of blew my mind because the color of the water just completely changes when it's the glacier runoff water. And I am literally surrounded by glaciers. This morning I'll get the opportunity to see the Kenai fjords from the water. And all the glaciers that come with that. And when I got out here yesterday, it just brought back all the memories of last summer because a lot of the bodies of water look normal like ours. Nothing's as clear as our water down in the Keys, that's for darn sure. But when I got out to the harbor, I was just so pleased because a lot of the harbors up north, I hate to say it, but they're kind of a little bit dirtier and they're not as clean and pretty as our marinas down south. And by the way, we definitely call them harbors up here. But I get out to this harbor yesterday, and I go straight from the hotel in Anchorage, got brought straight out to the boat. And here in the harbor, it's just the absolute most beautiful turquoisey water that you've ever seen. It's not clear because when the glaciers start to melt and it runs down into the bodies of water, it brings a lot of silt with it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a foggy type of bright turquoise water, and it's just amazing. I mean, absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
so
a completely different world.
The glaciers, now I'm going to show my ignorance. The glacier melting, is that, I take it's fresh water?
The glaciers melt definitely is fresh water, but it comes down into salt water.
Yeah.
And there is brackish up here where where the Kenai River goes out into Cook Inlet. You do get a brackish area through there, but they don't have like a specifically brackish fish up here like we do down in Florida. So, and the only thing that really migrates from the salt water up into the freshwater through that brackish area is the salmon when they're spawning and when they're migrating.
Wow.
So it's just a really, really neat, everything's neat up here. It's really a different world. And like I said, I'm still in awe right now because of all the beautiful things I saw last year, and I was blessed enough to be able to travel most of southeastern coastal Alaska. And now I'm up much more north this year. And I did come up here last year. I was on the north side of the Kenai Peninsula in Ninilchik last year doing charters. And this time I'm on the south side of the Kenai Peninsula doing charters. And last year I was in Cook Inlet, and the water was not this color. It was completely different. And I've never been on this side of the Kenai Peninsula. So it's quite a change. And like I said, the mountains are just amazing. I mean, it's just crazy that when you can turn your head completely around, everything's snow on the top. Even when it's kind of nice and warm in the daytime when the sun's out, you're looking at Snow Peak Mountains all around you, and it's a really nice temperature. Of course, this morning it's a little chilly. But it's the glacier runoff is definitely fresh water. And the glaciers themselves, you'll see snow on mountains, and then you'll see a really hard-packed bit of snow on the top of a mountain, and it's kind of like a crystal blue color, and that's your glaciers. And that's that compacted ice for thousands of years, and it kind of blows my mind because I'll say out loud, oh my goodness, dinosaurs walked on that ice, you know? And they are melting. And it's kind of sad to see these glaciers shrinking in size because they are melting slowly. But
we are out of time, my dear. That's what happens when we're having a good time. It completely goes very quickly. Well, let me say thank you so much. I'm looking forward to hearing from you again. Let me let Carolyn say goodbye, and we're out of here for the day. Listeners, thank you for taking the time to listen in, and we'll see you in a week. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Tight lines, Angelia. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it.